In this section, we're going to learn how to do NIC bonding. First thing you want to do is add two new interfaces. If you don't know how to, I am using Oracle VM VirtualBox. There's a video before this video which you can watch, which shows you how to add a network adapter through Oracle VM VirtualBox. Just add two new adapters through Oracle VirtualBox if that's what you're using. If you're using VMware or something else, please go through adding two different interfaces so we can go through these examples. In this section, we'll configure interface bonding with Network Manager. So for the first step is you add two new interfaces. Once you have two new interfaces added, first thing you want to do is check the status of Network Manager service. This is the command we're going to run. Just follow the steps along with me if you like. So system ctl status network manager. Make sure it's case sensitive, so network in N is uppercase in network and manager is uppercase. There are no spaces. Hit enter. As you can see, it's active and it's running. So we are good with that. I'm going to clear the screen. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to list all available network interfaces. So let's run this command, nm cli dev status. As you can see, I have added two new interfaces, which are these. There's another interface which I had previously. If you also have that one, just ignore that and we can still follow along with this example. As you can see, I have two interfaces, 8 and 9, which we will use to do the bonding. Next step, we're going to load load bonding driver in kernel. And this is the command you want to run to do that. Mod probe space bonding, hit enter. And that's done. To verify, you can run this command, mod info bonding, hit enter. If everything looks good, you can follow along the rest of it. I'm going to clear the screen, but this is how you verify. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a logical interface, which is bond 0, with load balancing policy of round robin, with the IP address of 192.168.1.120. If you're using a regular modem with the gateway of 192.168.1.1, you can use the same example as I am using. Otherwise, change it according to your network environment or how you have it set up in your home. Okay, so let's run this command now. nmcli con add type bond con-name bond 0 if name bond 0 mode balance RR for round robin backslash IP4 192.168.1.120.24, and now we will give it the gateway, which in my case is 192.168.1.1. Hit enter. If you get the message successfully added as I have received, then you're all set to move on to the next step. Next thing you can also do is you can check if the bond 0 file exists there under network adapters. So let's do that. Let's do a cat etc sysconfig network scripts bond 0, hit enter. If it's successful, you will see a file created in here called bond 0 with all these settings. You may have similar or identical settings as I have depending on your network. So let me clear the screen. Let's move on to the next step. Now we're going to add two added interfaces that we added earlier as slaves. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add the first interface. In my case is ENP0S8, and we're going to add it as a slave interface. So nmcli con add type bond hyphen slave if name ENP0S8. In my case, the adapter is ENP0S8. If you have a different adapter name, type that in. Master bond 0. So we're just saying master is bond 0. Hit enter. If you typed everything correctly, you will get a message successfully added as I got. Let's add the second interface now. In my case, it's ENP0S9. If you have a different name, add that name. And if you have the same name, then you should be all set. So I'm just going to come back and just edit that and add 9 instead. Basically, it's the same command. I just changed the interface name. Hit enter. Successfully added. So everything looks good so far. Now let's see if the files got created for the slave interfaces. I'm just going to copy and paste this. And let me just do a cat. Okay, if I hit tab, you will see that you have two interfaces in here. So both of them got created. Let's look at one of them. As you can see, it's there. The settings are there. And if you can see here, it is set up as slave and master is bond 0. So everything looks good so far. It's going to be the same case with the second file as well, as we're not getting any error messages and everything's looking good. Now let's activate bond 0. To do that, we're going to run this command right here, nmcli con up bond 0 and hit enter. Connection successfully activated, and that's how you do NIC bonding through Network Manager. And then to show connection info for bond and slaves, we can run this command. Let me just copy and paste that. Hit enter. As you can see, it looks like it's been successfully created. It's a lab environment, but if you get the concept, and even if you're in a different environment or a corporate environment, you can pretty much change a few things and run it the same way as I have and be able to set up NIC bonding through Network Manager. I would suggest you reboot at this time and then go back in and check all your settings again. And if you've made any mistakes, remove the NICs, re-add the NICs, and go through the same examples again. As always, this file is also available to you, so you can download it and you can open up a terminal on the other side and follow each step and go through these examples. If you get any error messages or anything, that will be a good thing, so you can learn from it, look at what the error messages are and how it's done. I would say practice it again and again until you feel comfortable with it. I hope you learned something useful in this video as well, and I will see you in the next one.